So hello and welcome to Domytriesthis. I hope you brought your cuppa. Yes, I had planned on waiting to buy this. And then I saw the coffee mug. And I kind of went, if I wait on buying this, the coffee mug may not be available. So I went ahead and bought it, even though I had something else that I'm buying. I've bought it. That is far more expensive. And it's one of the reasons why I would have waited on this. But a Nomad coffee mug. You just can't. Anyway, in our Nomad coffee mug is the Davidson's Organics Cranberry Orange. This is from an old Sip Spy. God, I miss my Sip Spy. I'm actually looking into a new tea box. So far, most of them that I'm finding are between $25 and $30, though. Anyway, this has chamomile, orange peel, rose hips, hibiscus, natural flavor, and organic dried cranberry. I did put 2 in here. This is a bit of a smaller coffee cup than what I usually use when I'm doing tea. And I haven't been doing tea, but today was actually appropriate because not only was I doing this, but it was 60 degrees when I woke up at 10 o'clock this morning. Yeah, we're getting time for the tea. Let's go ahead and give this a sip. Hopefully it is ultra strong, although it has just started steeping. We all know how this goes. It's nice and steamy. Can you see the steamy? I will say the downside of the mug so far is it is metal, so the whole thing is getting hot. I'm struggling because this is actually hot. So more than likely in the future, this will sit in the back and not be used much because hot. There we go. Okay, so right now I'm mostly getting the sugar. No surprise, it's only been steeping for a minute or 2. I don't know, maybe I did need 2 of them. Cranberry orange. Seemed a perfect good starter for the fall season. Anyway, moving on. So we are trying the Nomad new palette, the Pacific Northwest. It's besmirched, but I will show you these gorgeous colors. It's beautiful. You can barely tell it's besmirched. There's maybe 3 of them that you can see the besmirching in. It is absolutely gorgeous, and I was going to wait on it. I was like, yeah, that's interesting, but I think I can wait on that. And now that I have it, after I looked over the mug, after I had it, I saw this green here and went, oh my God. So, you know we had to use that. Anyway, if you are interested, it's a beautiful cover too. This is another one of their textured covers. It doesn't have velour flocking on it, so you don't have to worry about that. But it has a textured cover. It's really interesting. I love the cover. But if you're interested in this palette, if you're interested in this look, then just keep on watching. Alrighty, so the first thing I'm going to show you is the bottom of this coffee mug. As you all know, we do the look. I'm actually filming this before I film anything else. So there is the bottom of the coffee mug. Wandering, never lost with Bigfoot. It's really cute. And of course we have to show you unbesmirched before I besmirch it. It's just, this ended up being so much prettier than I thought it was. And I'm really glad I actually got up early enough to do this in the day. Because look at these colors. Look at these shimmers. Oh, they're amazing. Amazing. All right, I actually do have a plan. I did have to think about it for a minute. For quite the minute. We're going to really focus on the blues and greens. I'm sure you're not surprised. Colors. Although I am thinking about using this red-brown somewhere, so we'll see. But I do have a plan for pretty much the rest of it. We are going to start with this Cannon Beach. We're going to put that, oh God, we're going to put that under the brow. And then we're going to move into the Columbia River Gorge and put that in the crease up. We're going to go to this Ecotopia for our inner corner. Then Sunbreak, which is coming off, the way I'm seeing it here, it's coming off very beigey, but when I'm looking at it here, it's very bright and golden. It might look different when I get to editing. And then we're going to use Leaping Orcas on the back end. And that's where I'm trying to decide the next part. I am thinking about Olympic Mountains for the point. And then, you know what? Now I got to think about it. There's too many pretty colors. I got to think about it. Leaping Orcas we'll do in the crease. We'll do in the crease. That's a nice deep dark blue. So on the outer end, we'll do the Olympic Mountains for the outer side of our lid. I don't know. Maybe P and W for the point. So we got some blues and greens both in there. Some things may change. I'm looking at this going, some of these colors I'm not as sure about as I was 2 seconds ago. Let's go ahead and dig in and get started. We'll see how they look on the eye, and then we'll go from there. I mean, we all know they're gonna look amazeballs, but let's just all imagine we don't know that they're gonna be amazeballs and just do the thing, right? Right. Okay. Let us start with Cannon Beach. This is a little darker than what I would normally put under my brow. I'm almost tempted to go with Cascadia, which flips to a green on your screen, but looks very brown. You know what? The Pacific Crest, I think, is just too bright. And the Towering Sea is too dull. And everything else is brown. We'll stick with what we thought. Let's try this Cannon Beach. We're into color, right? Let's do the color thing. So now this is not sprayed. I don't want, oh God, she's shiny. She is shiny. Anyway, I don't want it to be too packed with color. She is showing. She's doing a nice light thing, which is what we kind of want. I don't want it overly dark up top. I just want some light hint of color. That one has a lot of freaking shimmer. Which I enjoy. We all know that. Okay. I'm not mad at that. And then we're going to go to over next door to Columbia River Gorge. Different fluffy brush. She's more of a... Anyway. Columbia River Gorge. And we're going to put that from the crease up. Very similar color. And going up. In fact, I would say that is almost exactly the same color, just in a beautiful matte. And without the duo flip. What is the flip on that one? To a green, because it's looking very bluish to me. Or of a lighter green. honestly, I don't mind the monochromatic. I do feel like I'm having to put in a bit more, but that's just because I am trying to get down into the crease so I can see it better, more than anything. And that shine can sometimes distract. So for you guys versus for me guys, I think it's going to come up a little bit darker. I'm giggling. Anyway, I think it comes up a little bit darker for you all. Blend out that edge a little bit more, just a bit. And I suspect when I start editing, I'll go, oh, that was quite a bit darker than what I thought. All right, so we're going to put glitter glue 2/3 across the lid. Okay, so went ahead and prepped my thing. And we are going to grab some of this Ecotopia. God, it's pretty. It's pretty. Oh man, that is gorgeous. What I find interesting about these colors is they're not, some of them are on the grungier end, but for the most part, they're just very, they're not quite swampy. They're right on the border of swampy, if that makes sense. Oh, look at that. That went on beautifully. About 1/3 across. I don't even have to get my brush to get in my creases. That just went in so nice. That went in, oh wow. Wow. That went in, oh wow. We'll go with oh wow. Alrighty. Now let's see what happens with this other color. Like I said, to me, it is looking very yellow. There, you can kind of see it when I flip it this way, but it's looking very beigey when it's directly at you guys. What color will we get? Probably beige. I mean, it's my eyes, so, you know. But I want that light shim shim. In the middle. Oh, what is that doing? Oh man, that's actually really pretty. I am still getting that yellowy touch, which is what I wanted. Now I'm going to take my dry brush and we're going to grab a little bit more of that Ecotopia. I love Nomad. And we are going to try to blend these edges a little bit. Oh man. Oh man, that makes me happy. Okay, Olympic Mountains. This is our another matte. Oh God. Oh, look at that. That baby went right on. Occasionally, only occasionally, some of the Nomad mattes can seem less pigmented. They need a bit more building to get in there. This is not one of them. Okay, so I'm going to get another dry brush. One more. I am not seeing much fallout on any of this right now. Maybe a little bit on this outer corner. Anyway, I'm going to get some of this Sunbreak on this dry brush. and blend it across and into all the things. Just give everything a little bit more shine. Shiny, shiny. I think I'm building a little much because I'm having trouble see it. I have the sun coming through, I have my filming light, and I have a light above me. So everything is really bright in here. So I suspect I'm seeing less than what's really there. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. Okay, I'm glad that the coffee bug tempted me into buying this. All right, so what am I going to do here? We'll go ahead and grab P&W. This one here. Kind of olivey. I actually have gotten kind of into the more olive and swampy greens. I'm not sure why that is. I used to hate green. We're going to take it on the tip. All right. And then start building that in and do the point. Blending. Oh man, that is just... Okay, so what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to grab a little bit more of that Cannon Beach, which appears to be sealing up a little bit. That's unusual for them. But I'm going to put that and blend that over these edges. Get some of that, more of that shim over those edges. That shimmy shim. All right, and then we're going to grab some Leaping Orcas. Hi, Leaping Orcas. And we're going to put that in our crease. Actually, for me, just above my crease, because I have those hooded eyes and the crease just swallows everything. And we're going to go back just a little bit there. And do the thing. Do the thing. Just doing it. That's beautiful. Okay, so, wow. Not trying to cut y'all off. I'm trying to see something better because I got so much light. That is. We're gonna go with that is. All right, so I'm gonna do the other eye, finish my face, we'll talk about it. Like we always do. Alrighty, I suspect y'all know what I'm gonna say about this palette, but before we get into all of that really quickly, here is the look. I did have to, you know, reapply on the inner corners, but it really wasn't that bad. And considering that while I was adding my eyeliner and stuff, I was starting to weep a bit, it held up really, really well. I'm really surprised. I did have to refresh it a little bit, but the holes were teeny tiny. They weren't like all over the lid the way they've gotten before. I'm sure you'll see some of it. I've noticed when I've done this and in editing, you can kind of see a line where there's an issue, but I suspect that line will be next to not there, I'm hoping. But anyway, here's the look. All right, so for underneath, I initially tried, which one did I initially try? I initially tried the Cascadia because it comes off a bit green for you guys and beigey to me. It didn't come out very well. So then we went out to, I did the Mountains Are Out on the inner corner. Then I used the Greater Lake underneath. And then I ended up with Multnomah Falls on the outer edge for underneath. So I went for more shinies. We all know I go for the shinies. This is a surprising palette. It really shouldn't be a surprising palette. I know how Nomad's formulas are. They're easy with a brush. Their mattes are usually very soft and pigmented, and we had no problem with that. This time around, adjusting my ears, I'm sorry. They have Bigfoot, you guys have a fox. Like I said, the packaging is covered, is textured, and there are the trees and stuff are raised. This says that it is being proud supporter of the conservation of the Northwest. I don't think I got a little card with it, but I don't have my box anymore. I got so excited about the mug that I just opened everything up. I had everything on the floor. My son picked up all the trash and off it went. So if there was a card in the box, it went out with the trash, which is sad because I usually keep the cards. However, I have noticed that they have been putting cards in less and less, which makes sense because they are a company that donates to nature projects. You know, they'll save the penguins, save the whales, stuff like that. So saving the trees by not putting cards in the boxes makes perfect sense to me. So I don't remember if there was a card in the box. I don't think there was. I don't recall a card falling out when I was looking at this, but it could have been. I don't know. I just know that what it says on the back is that they're donating for that. But yeah, every palette that they put out, they donate something to someone. They donate a percentage. And these colors, this color story just... I'm surprised that I was willing to let it sit. I think part of the reason letting it sit is not just the fact that I had this other thing I was going to be buying. I'm sorry if I'm coming up with odd tones in my voice. I'm still fighting congestion, and some of that just might be the season change. Anyway, in a sense, despite all these greens and blues, this is going to sound really weird, but when I first saw it, I went, that is going to be a little too neutral for me. I really did, because while these are sort of swampy colors, I don't know, it's just something about the way this outer edge here is done that gives it a very neutral feeling. But you could obviously come up with quite the colorful look, and I do think this is about to be a favorite palette, especially in terms of all these beautiful greens. I really did enjoy putting those greens on. And this Leaping Orcas I thought was supposed to be more blue. It looks more blue, but it came up more green because of what I put it over. So they blended beautifully. Nomad very rarely blows me away anymore. This blew me away. This really, really surprised me. So, if you're interested in this palette, I highly recommend it at this point. I'm really impressed. You all know I love Nomad. However, they've been like they dropped down to about 3. I think they're now even on 2 with Dee Dee. Those top 3. There's nothing I can do about it. The top 3. And I also wanted to let you know that of the 10th anniversary palettes, their Parks palette, the American Parks palette, is apparently about sold out. So you may want to go ahead and pick that up while you can, along with whatever is remaining of the other one that I saw on there. I will list them down below. The ones that are going out and not being, I think it was it Ghost Town or was it Haunted Europe? One of those. It'll be listed down below, because once they are out of stock, they are apparently not restocking those particular palettes. So in addition to this, I will list the palettes that are not being restocked. And the American Parks, if you can get your hands on it. I loved the original palette. This is with the new formulas. You're going to rock it. You're going to love it. You're going to love it, especially if you're a Nomad palette lover. So that would be a palette that I would get my hands on if I can. Anyway, all that said, the congestion is just driving me nuts, and I am very glad to have come on and gotten to show this to you. I guess it blown away. Blown away. It's going to become a top palette. It's the tea. The tea is loosening everything up, I'm sure. I didn't drink that much. At any rate, so that is my feeling on it. What do you think about the look? How do you think the palette performed from what you saw? I would love to get all your opinions down below. Are you a Nomad lover? Are you planning to get any of the palettes that are getting ready to go out of stock? I'd love to hear that too. So let me know that all down below. And while you do that, you can go ahead and like and subscribe and share and help us up here on that, on that YouTube algorithm. Apparently, everybody is having a little bit of issue with the algorithm lately. They're all finding their counts a little suppressed. I was really surprised to hear that. Not sure what YouTube changed, but apparently they changed something. So yeah, a lot of people are saying that they're getting a few less than usual, and most of them haven't taken breaks like I did. So do all those things to help us out around here, because we really need it, especially since I tend to disappear for weeks or months at a time and then come back and go, oh, that wasn't planned. On another note, you probably noticed that this entire video was done without the mic. I have recharged the little mics 4 times, and they will not hold a charge. So that thing lasted about 6 months. I will be looking into a different company, because this one apparently didn't work out quite so well. I've used those mics maybe a dozen times. And there you go. We're gone. At any rate, so hopefully it won't be right away, but hopefully we'll have better sound soon and all the things. All right, let's go ahead and get another sip of this tea. I am babbling like a crazy woman. We should be at full strength now. Let's go ahead and give her a sip, and we can get on out of here. I got other things to do, folks, including editing this video so you can see it on Monday. Let's give it a sip. Okay, it's a little easier to hold now. The tea is cold, such a little bit. But yeah, I suspect that this is going to be, either it's going to be like a soup mug that I can use a spoon with, or it's just going to be on display, because the metal top can make it hard when your tea is hot. Okay, that's very delicate. I am not getting cranberry. Hell, I'm not even getting orange. Wow. Oh, there's a touch. There's a hint of citrus. It might just be that these are too old. Tea over time does start to lose its flavor. and we have not been getting the Sips by box for well over a year. So almost all the tea bags I have are anywhere between 18 months and 24 months old, or 36 months old, or something like that. At least a year and a half to 2.5 years old. So it's, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the issue. All right, so like I said, do all those things. Let me know down below if you're going to be picking this up. I would love to hear it. And in the meantime, we all know I love my children. I love my dragonettes. And I hope you have a good one.